Yeah, so this was the exercise I was talking about last time. So this is, everybody knows this is the King Kong. And we have to sit the King Kong over here like this. Okay, so basically I'll first explain how to work on layer masking. So like earlier I had explained how to use the layer masking. You go over here to the bottom in the layers panel, add layer mask. So what layer mask basically does is, like, generally what we do, we know that, you can easily cut, copy, paste in Photoshop, paste a photograph in whichever form by using any of the tools like lasso tool, or like, polygon tool, or maybe magic wand tool. So you can use these tools, but there are times when we are creating some kind of blend and all, we don't want to destroy the photograph. This is when we use layer masking. So basically it looks like a camera with a circle inside, and you click on it. Okay, and then what we have here is we have a white, and then we can have a black as well. So a black layer. So basically how this layer masking works, it works with a white foreground and a black background, and it works with the brush tool only. So I'll use my brush tool. With the bracket key, I'll increase the size. And like, suppose if I want to delete a certain thing, I would have to bring the black in the foreground. Sorry, anybody wanting to ask something? Okay, so I'm kind of deleting this. Okay, because my brush is in this form, so that is why I'm able to, like, the hardness is at 0% and size, so you can change, you can go to settings, and I can restore default brushes. So if I restore default brushes, I click OK, so I'll be able to do that. Just a minute. Yeah, so if I want to, like, bring back the photograph, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click. Okay, bring the white in the foreground, and bring, like, so this is like the non-destructible way of working on your photograph. Okay, now there is also another way to do it. Like, you can blend it, like, and just remember this, like, if you are masking something, you have to be on the masking layer, you don't have to be on the photograph layer. If I am on the photograph layer thinking that, okay, now my masking is on, and if I try to do this, I have completely destroyed my photograph. Okay, so can you see the change here? So just be very careful when you do it. You have to click on this specific masking box, the white box. Okay, now let's say I want to blend this, or I want to use a gradient tool. So I can use a gradient tool by just going over here, and again on the masking, and then I can probably have, like, one has to decide how much of gradient we want, what kind of intensity we are looking for, like this. Okay, and if I want a certain this thing of the uh, King Kong visible, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the brush and just make sure that this part is visible. So I'm just going to do it with my brush just to make it a little darker, like this. I can delete this by switching to the black and then deleting this area. Okay, and then I can click on the background. So this piece will look somehow like this. So it looks like a composition, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So another composition is like, I'll just show you like this. So what basically I had done, I taken a picture. I kind of, added some kind of gradient to it and a hue and saturation to it. So this was like a long time ago while making, I was just doing this layer blend composition. So I had brought the tiger inside and then sort of, used hue and saturation and drop shadow to at least show a little kind of a shadow of the tiger, which is, I don't know how much of it is visible, but yeah, trying that the tiger is coming from the jungle. So you can work on this kind of a composition, or I made another one like this. So I've taken this picture and then I had taken another like a waterfall. So I had kind of made the bird totally like, hidden the bird. And then like, the water is falling from a temple or something like a monument, and then added a background to it. And then I added a sunlight effect. So the sun is setting and then the water is falling, and this is how it looks. So this is like another composition that I had made. So you guys understood how to do layer masking?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So would you like to try it for like 10 minutes? Just try it out. If you're having any problem, then we'll do the mood board after that.
Ma'am, for the hue and saturation as well, we have to mask it.
Okay, I'll tell you how it's done basically. I'll explain that as well. Okay. So basically this is the picture, and let's now we will do some kind of a change to this picture. Now there are two ways of doing it. One is destructible and one is non-destructible. I've told you, non-destructible way is through smart filter. You convert it into a smart like I'll just click on this and convert it into a smart object. Then I use any sort of filter. Even if I don't want it later, I can just hide the eye of it and I will be able to make the change. But there is a destructible way, like, if I click on this layer one, if I go to image, say, just move this here. Okay. go to image, go to adjustment. Then we have hue saturation, we have color balance, we have black and white, photo filter, channel mixer, cool, color lookup, invert, posterize. We have all of these tools, you know. So if I want to desaturate, I can use desaturation. If I want hue and saturation, so now if I use the hue and saturation, so I can make changes, maybe increase the color effect, maybe make it lighter, darker. So I can just play around with it. And there is this thing called colorize. So when you click on colorize, when you're working in number of layers, it means that, you know, you want only a change in this layer, you don't want to change in the other layer. Like suppose if I now I go down to this layer, and then I go over here, go to hue and saturation, and then increase or decrease the photograph, the lightness. Well, actually, it's not affecting the photograph, maybe, but if more layers were below it, then it would have been affected. So that is when you click on colorize. So colorize means only the photograph would be affected. Maybe I'll get an opportunity to tell you about this in the next, this thing, in the next exercise, like this one. So then there is a okay, where are my layers? And where it is gone. Okay. Okay, now I'll explain it here. So now there is another way of, let's suppose, you know, making a change to this. So I'll convert this into a smart filter. I'll convert it into a smart filter, and we have in this black and white cookie, we have the same tools here, like the way we had it in image here, image adjustment, we have it here as well. So the moment I use it, like if I use hue and saturation here, I can make the change. And that's it, done. We're done with the work. Just cross this. So here you know, we have a tool called hue and saturation right above. So I can just hide the eye if I don't want it. And if I want it, I can bring it back. So in the same way, we do it for the other layers as well. Like suppose if I go over here and I click on this. So I basically, you can use selection tool also in the masking area to mask a certain thing. Like suppose I'll just show to you how to use selection. So basically I want to select this person and put him in this background, maybe put him in the green background. Let's suppose we have this background, so put him in the green background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my quick selection tool or magic wand tool. So here what I'm going to do is select the background. So I'm just going to select the background like this and make sure that, you know, addition is on. So I'll just click on. So this is like, you know, these two squares which are like overlapping each other. So I'll just select it like this. If I don't want a certain thing, this is where the quick selection really helps me out. So I don't want this. I don't want this area. Okay, so I have selected the background, but I want to select the basically this person. So how do I do it? Anybody knows?
मैम सिलेक्शन में जाके रिवर्स कर लेंगे, इन्वर्स कर लेंगे सिलेक्शन.
Yes, inverse कर लेंगे ना. So like
Control
this.
Shift I.
Sorry.
Control Shift and I is the shortcut to inverse the selection.
Yes, yes. So I'm just going to select a few more areas which I left. Just reduce my this thing. And I think I have to select this also. Okay, so there are a lot of things here that, you know, if I just cut, copy, paste, then if I cut, copy, paste, then it's going to, I don't know how it's going to look. So let's just try this. So I'll just copy this image and I'll put this image over here. Oops. What did I do? I mean, okay, so I'm going to copy this, or maybe I'll do Control X. Yes, and then I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to paste it. Yes. And then I'll use my this bounding box, click Shift and Alt together to increase the size of this. Okay, this has been done perfectly. I think there's no problem, but if you see the edges, if you see these edges, they are not so correct. They are like, you know, we have a problem here. So I'll go back to this, Control Alt Z, go over here, Control Alt Z. I want the layer, I want the photograph back. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my refine edge to see, you know, where I've gone wrong. So we have this refine edge over here, select and mask. So I'll click select and mask. In select and mask, we have a couple of things. If first we can click on show edge. So this would be show edge, show original. Then high quality preview. Then we have marching ants. We have, if I want to see the marching ants, I can see the marching ants. Overlay, this is another thing. So generally we keep it to overlay, which is better, like, you know, and if you want to make any changes, we'll make it. Then we keep it to smart radius. Increase the smart radius and see, you know, the edges should come out right. Make it little smooth. I think I redid everything. So I click on overlay. Smart radius should be on. And then we have a couple of more things like, you know, I can't see this, so I would have to put a cross on this. And I'll go over here. Need to bring back my properties panel. Maybe click on this. Okay, we'll just cancel this up. This is not happening. Yes, select and mask, reset, select and mask. Yes, we have this box here. So I was just looking for it, where it has gone. So here is edge detection. So edge detection may we have a couple of things. We have smooth, we have feather. So if I just zoom this up. We have contrast, we have shift edge. So if I increase or decrease the shift edge, we generally keep it in the center. Then we have decontaminate colors, which is not really required. Then we have layer mask, new layer with layer mask. So if I click on this, and I would first have to make a certain change in this. So let me first do it. So here we have this quick selection tool. We have refine edge brush. So if I click on refine edge brush and just, you know, click on this layer. Smart radius, increase it a bit. Maybe show edge detection. To be here, make that change. Well, this refine edge is seriously, like, you know, a little tough to really work on, but it kind of, you can do cut, copy, paste quite nicely with it.
Ma'am, refine edge, is it a brush or is it a tool?
It's basically, you know, if your selection is not come out right, like, you know, the way my selection has come, it has not come out right. So I am trying to, you know, kind of make it a little better by just.
I got that. I'm asking how to reach that.
How to
Where will I
reach?
find it?
Okay. How to
This
reach that tool?
refine edge.
Okay, first let me click OK. So first let me click that. So I basically created a background copy. Okay, guys, this one would be a little tough for you, so don't do it. what I would suggest is, we are on this. If you have any issue with this, what you do is you go to select and you have this modify, you expand the pixels. So if I expand the pixels to 2, maybe 1 pixel or 2 pixels, what's happening, what would happen is these marching ants would increase the size. So if I do 2 pixels, click OK. So you see this, my selection would be a little better. It will be little out of this thing. It will be little better. So now if I cut, copy, paste, like if I just copy this and put this over here. So this selection would be a little better. Okay. Though I could use Refine Edge. Refine Edge is, I just select this. This is select and mask. So Refine Edge is here, select and mask. So this is Refine Edge. And cancel it. Okay, so this is basically an exercise which I think maybe if you've not got it from me, I think you should go through some YouTube channels and all where they're explaining Refine Edge quite nicely. This is a very important tool. Sometimes, even I struggle through working with this. Sometimes I'm successful, like, with the hair and all. And I kind of don't use this quite often. But, Refine Edge, what it does is like, the way the hair is flowing, you see this has been done by Refine Edge. Now, if this dog was pasted in a photograph and it had come, now it had, I cut, copy, paste and put it on a green background, but I had to use the Refine Edge tool to really work on the hair portion. So basically Refine Edge is used to, the detailing of this. So if you would see this little portion of here, but still I think I did a good job. So Refine Edge is something like, you should really like, just have a look. Okay. And I'll practice the next class and then I'll come with the Refine Edge properly. If you guys want me to show you again how Refine Edge really works. Okay. Less than 1 minute, I'll be booted out. Let's just go over to the mood board and how I worked on the mood board. So basically, these are the steps that I had done. So first step was, so this was a photograph. If I shut the eye of the photograph, this was basically a colored picture.